Tonight on Sports Extra, plenty of football action in the region for high schools in North Dakota and Minnesota. UND hockey is back in action this week. We preview the Vikings taking on the Browns, and we have the Chris Heise Play of the Week nominees. KVRR Sports Extra starts right now. Good evening and welcome to KVRR Sports Extra. I'm Aaron Walling and that's Ryan Bolin, and we want to start by saying any scores not final on the show tonight can be found on our website afterwards. Now, Ryan, another full night of high school football.
Yeah, that is right. We'll start with the battle of the best in Division 3A North Dakota. Top-ranked Shanley and second-ranked Fargo-Davies.
Now, these two schools are separated by less than 2 miles on 25th Street. Before we jump into the highlights, hear from the teams on what this rivalry means.
They're the team right down the street. We're kind of it's us and them every year, it seems like. I mean, Cheyenne's in the mix, there's other teams in the mix, but it seems like the biggest game we're always looking at the schedule for is Davies. That trophy, that's huge. We love it around here, and we just always are going to battle with Davies.
It's big. We took a big loss from them our sophomore year in the semifinals. You know, it's just trying to keep that revenge, keep that going, that streak. Keep the trophy here at Davies. If you can't get up for Shanley, you're just doing something wrong.
But the talking is all done and it's time to leave it on the field. Can the Deacons protect home field against the Eagles? First drive for Shanley, they are without Jax Mattern, but Kai Zabel with a trick play pass to Jake Kraft down the field. The Deacons digging deep into their playbook. This drive, however, will stall on a fourth down at midfield, and Davies will take over thanks to the pass breakup by Brady Vetter. Eagles in striking distance. Kane Mathiasen with blockers on the outside, and he will go untouched into the end zone. Davies strike first. After another fourth down stop, Colton Tesh is going to take the handoff, and you can't catch him. Tesh goes all the way, and the Eagles win it 42-22. Now to the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs in their camo, taking on the Fargo North Spartans. It's a 6-0 game here in the second to the Stangs, and this game has been all defense in the second frame. On a fourth down, L.J. Satterum fires this ball, but is broken up by Owen Puel, and North takes over. But Cheyenne's defense forces a punt, and the Stangs are facing a fourth down. Satterum rolls right, finds Landon Hanson, who picks up the first down with less than 2 minutes on the clock. Cheyenne goes for the screenplay. Ball batted up high, and Brody Fowler gets the interception. A great play for the defense. But this drive will stall too, as the Mustangs defense puts on the clamps. Cheyenne wins 18-0.
In Horace tonight, it's the first ever meeting between the Hawks and West Fargo. And this one was a battle of the defenses early on. First quarter, Horace looking to the air, but this ball is picked off by West Fargo's Beckett Fowl, and the Packers are in business. That drive, though, goes nowhere. Later in the quarter, Pack back with the ball, but not for long, because then it's the Horace defense making a play. Israel Bauer does this all the time, coming up with the interception as we go to the end of the first quarter scoreless. In the second, the Hawks get the ball to Ty Garai, and he gets to the edge, turns upfield. This one a huge gain to the Packers' 20-yard line, and he would finish that drive with a 5-yard score. Horace takes the first ever meeting with West Fargo, 27-13, the final. And it's not just homecoming weekend in Kindred, but it's also their first game with the brand new blue track. Fargo South up 3-0 in the first, and it's still their ball. Well, it was their ball. That's an interception from, you guessed it, Brooks Bacco, doing that all season long for the Vikings. They're up 7-3 now in the second quarter. Gabe Whipple gets the snap, and he has ideas of extending the lead. On the quarterback keeper, he runs right in. 2-point conversion puts Kindred up 15-3. Later in the second, and it's the Vikings putting the pedal down. It's Whipple to Luke Starcevic, lunging, catching, and diving into the end zone all in one motion. Kindred staying unbeaten with the 35-3 win. Some more scores from Division 2A. Grand Forks Central stays unbeaten with the 49-14 win over Wahpeton, and Central Class is upset by Grand Forks Red River 19-17. That game just going final for us.
Yeah, checking in on Division A, Region 1, Valley City on the road battling 5th-ranked EEK. The Thunder improved to 6-1 on the year with a 41-0 win, and Hillsborough Central Valley hosting Sargent County. The Burros win it 30-0 to improve to 5-2. And in Division A, Region 2, just two teams are undefeated entering Friday, and both remain that way. Langdon area Munich with a 33-7 win over Carrington, and Park River area defeats Turtle Mountain 62-14. Both teams are now 7-0 on the season. And in North Dakota 9-man, it has been no secret who are the teams to beat. New Rockford Cheyenne and Lemoore both stay unbeaten with dominant wins. Now to Minnesota.
You're good.
Actually, did you
just check it on scores. Nothing updated quite yet.
Well, now to Minnesota, where we had a rematch of the state quarterfinals.
Yeah, that's right. Barnesville hosting Staples Motley. These two, they met a season ago in November, and it was the Cardinals coming away with a 2-point win in overtime. Homecoming for Barnesville. The Trojans looking to avenge their state quarterfinal loss from a season ago to Staples Motley. Cardinals, they strike first. It's Colby Tappy. It looks like he's going to get stopped here, but he is going to power his way to a 38-yard touchdown and a 6-0 Staples Motley lead after the blocked PAT. Later, Cardinals back with the ball again, but it's Eli Rutt getting picked off by Major Ness, and the Barnesville offense regaining possession. Ensuing drive, Jacob Strand rolling out, throws it up for Adam Brandon, and check out this grab. Over the top of the defender, crosses the goal line for the 29-yard touchdown. Barnesville, they would take an 8-6 lead into halftime on this 2-point conversion, but not enough. Staples Motley coming away with the win, 20-16, the final. Other scores from across Minnesota. Moorhead back on the road this week to battle Eden Prairie, and it was a thriller. No Jet Feeney again for the Spuds. Moorhead, they score late in the fourth, but they come up short. EP wins it 34-33. And in 5A, Alexandria improving to 5-1 on the year with the narrow 36-35 win over Bemidji. In 4A, Fergus Falls, they're going to drop their first game of the year. At last check for us, they're trailing Rocori 34-12 in the fourth quarter on the road. And in 3A, DGF battling 2A Hawley tonight. It was close for a while, but the Rebels pull away to win by 19.
And checking in on a couple of unbeaten teams in Class A, Monoma-Waban stays perfect on the year with a 35-0 win over Polk County West, and Breckenridge is going to move to 6-0 on the year. At last check, they lead Lake Park Audubon 48-13. After the break, we catch up with NDSU and UND football ahead of their weekend games. Hockey is back for North Dakota with a brand new head coach, a huge roster turnover, and a general manager bringing in new talent. There are a lot of expectations up north at the Ralph Engelstad Arena. Soon the Ralph Engelstad Arena will be filled with North Dakota hockey fans. Whether the team is rebuilding or thriving, the fans show up in droves. But there's new excitement in the air here in Grand Forks, one that hasn't been felt in a long time. A new head coach takes over, and a lot of turnover on the roster.
With 15 new players, we have a lot of just kind of getting on the same page, and I believe that we have a lot of good parts. And if it's just kind of the idea of guys kind of buying into to what we're doing, buying into the day-to-day, the process-based kind of plan of improving every day, improving when we get through our games. If we really kind of I think embody that and buy into it, I think there's exciting things ahead for this team. So it's an exciting time. Guys have put in a ton of work, and they're ready to go compete and kind of start getting into the battles of game night.
Dane Jackson isn't the only new piece to the puzzle. They also added Brent Chiswick, who becomes the general manager for Nodak Hockey. The former UND player now is tasked with bringing in players, selling them on the idea of playing for North Dakota. But the job is never finished, as they deal with the ever-changing times of college athletics.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where kind of college hockey in particular kind of goes from here, right? Like we've had the transition with the CHL opening up and some different things within the game. So I do feel like we're in a good spot moving forward, but we got to keep our finger on it, because I know there'll be transition and changes in the landscape moving forward.
But at the end of the day, the success of the program hinges on how they perform on the ice. The last time this program won a title was back in 2016. And these players know the goal is to win championships. But they also get to represent UND, which means a lot to them.
I have pictures of myself with a binky in my mouth and a Sioux jersey. So I've always dreamed of being here, and it's super special to be able to put that jersey on every day. And it's super exciting to be a part of this new era of North Dakota hockey and kind of transition it into what we want this place to be and what it'll be for a long time.
And helping that cause is bringing in new talent through the transfer portal. This includes Gibson Homer, coming over from Arizona State. the new goalie on the block, will be the last stop on defense for North Dakota.
Just having that trust in me, and then since I've been here, I reciprocate that trust in him and that trust in the team as well. So I think it's a mutual thing. I think that's what you need to really have, the best teams, is everyone kind of trusting each other and knowing that they're going to do their job. So you just have to worry about, doing yours.
North Dakota will open their season tomorrow night at the Ralph Engelstad Arena for an exhibition game against Manitoba at 6:07 p.m. We now switch over to the football program, who are coming off a bye week at 2-2 and head into the conference schedule against Northern Iowa. North Dakota hits the road trying to pick up their first road win of the year. Here's head coach Eric Schmidt on North Dakota coming off some rest.
How we're doing just physically. I think the one thing that has been definitely a bright spot and a positive for us is, we came into fall camp on July 30th, I think. Our average weight on that day, if you go through our entire roster, was 228 pounds. And then, we weighed in again last week, and our average weight is 227 pounds.
While the defense has had its fair share of flaws on the road, so has the offense in the 2025 campaign. In games against Kansas State and Montana, the Fighting Hawks either struggled at times in the second half that led to them losing fourth quarter leads. But it's a brand new week for North Dakota, who will have a chance to go over 500 for the first time this season. And they'll be facing two foes on Saturday, Northern Iowa and what feels like 80s AstroTurf at the Unidome.
You're almost in like a hybrid tennis shoe, golf shoe, where you have kind of some tackiness to it. And it feels different because it's very low. There's no rubber pellets. But the guys got to do a good job of getting their shoes on early and being out on the field early to get the feel of which shoes I should wear and why. But at the end of the day, those shoes, those cleats, they'll grab, and we'll have no issues with it. As long as we play with good pad level, right, and we keep our base underneath us, we'll be in good shape.
The Fighting Hawks will be on the road to take on the Northern Iowa Panthers at 4 p.m. tomorrow at the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa. The top-ranked North Dakota State Bison are on the road this week to take on 6th-ranked Illinois State. NDSU is firing on all cylinders so far this year at 4-0, dominating everyone in their way on offense, defense, and special teams. Here's head coach Tim Polasek and the Bison getting ready to face off against the Redbirds.
It was almost like watching the same offense from a year ago, and I respect that. They deploy the plays they have, the concepts they have. They attack defenses properly, and so a lot of respect for these guys. I think the D-line will be the most active, athletic D-line that we've seen, the most capable D-line that we've seen, and that's supported by some third down pressure looks that are tough. We're going to have to be on top of our stuff.
The Bison will hit the road at the Hancock Stadium in Normal, Illinois. Now they face the Redbirds at 6 p.m. on Saturday. After the break, we catch up with the Fargo Force ahead of their home opener.
After winning the Clark Cup final 2 seasons ago, the Fargo Force are coming off a first-round exit in 2024. Entering this season, Fargo is looking to get back on top, and they're doing it with a ton of local talent.
It is just a winning culture. That's kind of what we're taught right when we get here.
The Fargo Force will hold their home opener this weekend and look to continue that winning tradition that has been built. This season, the Force have a few players from Fargo and Moorhead. Brooks Cullen, Zach Zimmerman, and Garrett Lindberg are the Moorhead trio. From playing together as kids, they now take the ice together in junior hockey.
Us three are obviously really tight, and then we got a couple Fargo guys like Bryce Mattern and Zaid Penner. So it's really cool, we've grown up playing with and against these guys, and we know each other really well because we've all, trained and skated together in the summers and played against each other in the winters. So it's obviously pretty special that we're all on the same team, and we're all so close, so it's pretty cool.
One of the top returners for Fargo from last season is Aero Butella. He says the team's goals this season is the same as it always is.
I think this year just take it day by day, every game by game. You can't jump to conclusions, but obviously our goal is to win the Clark Cup, and we're going to do whatever we can to do that. But just keep building every game, and hopefully we'll have that result.
The Force are 2 games into the season thus far, winning both in Pittsburgh to start the year. Head coach Brett Skinner shares his thoughts on this year's group.
Definitely a good group of kids, great work ethic, had a good preseason here getting up and running. Obviously now the regular season games start, obviously came away with a couple wins in Pittsburgh, but really hard-fought games. Glad we came out on the winning side, but a long way to go here. When you come in here, you know the standard that we want, we have an expectation of. But with that being said, the kids kind of form their own identity. They pick the way that this team's going to play. I think what we've tried to cultivate is a day-to-day environment where if you have the right mindset, you have the right mentality, that you're going to have success here and you're going to get better.
The Force have their home opener Saturday versus the Sioux City Musketeers. To the NFL, the Minnesota Vikings are in London for their second straight international game. With J.J. McCarthy still working his way back from an ankle injury, Carson Wentz will make his third straight start for Minnesota. Last Sunday versus Pittsburgh, Wentz tossed for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, but also threw 2 interceptions with a banged-up offensive line, was sacked 6 times as well. The outlook this Sunday does not look too great for the Vikes up front with all the injuries still. And going up against a good pass rush that includes Myles Garrett, Wentz shared his thoughts heading into Sunday.
I've played against Myles a couple times. He's a beast. He's as good as it gets on that side of the ball. So much respect for him, both as a player and as a person. Very aware of where he's at. I think we'd be lying if we didn't say that. And so it's something that you definitely respect and you're aware and you kind of think through those things. But at the end of the day, I'm confident in our guys as well. I think we got a good game plan and, again, respect the heck out of him as a player, and we're going to be very aware of where he's at.
And it will be a new man at quarterback for the Browns Sunday. Dylan Gabriel will take over for the veteran Joe Flacco. Gabriel was selected in the 3rd round by Cleveland in this year's draft, and after shining in the preseason, will get his first career start against Minnesota.
We treat everybody the same as if they've been a 10-year starter, 4-year starter, first-year starter, doesn't matter. I'll give everybody the same respect. Obviously, he's going to have to deal with our defense, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure he got a good game plan over there. I see them running the football, so that's the main thing. I'm going to try to stop this run first, and then we obviously try to get the opportunity to rush the passer.
As I mentioned, a rough look for Minnesota on the injury report. 6 players will be out, including 3 starting O-linemen and backup center Michael Juergens. Backup guard Blake Brandel will start at center for the first time in his career, and undrafted free agent Joe Hubert will get the start at left guard. A complete shakeup for the line for Sunday. The Vikings will look to overcome those injuries Sunday morning when they kick off at 8:30 a.m. local time versus the Browns in London. Minnesota remains, though, about a field goal favorite for the game. After the break, we review our nominees for the Chris Heise Play of the Week.
It is now time for the best part of the show. Let's take a look at this week's Chris Heise Play of the Week nominees.
And we'll pretend we don't see this. We'll talk about this after. There's 4 plays to choose from this week. Let's take a look at them.
Yeah, first up, Cheyenne is driving. Screenplay ball sent up sky high, and Brody Fowler gets the interception for Fargo North. Let's break that down. Now the Mustangs try to set up the screen pass. That's when Finnegan Kilty gets a hand on the ball, and Fowler tracks it down like an outfielder and makes the impressive catch for the Spartans defense.
Play 2, Barnesville versus Staples Motley. The Trojans, they don't pass often, but when they do, watch out. Jacob Strand gives Adam Brandon a chance, and he comes down with it for the 29-yard touchdown. One more time, it's Strand rolling out and fires it up for grabs, and it's Brandon with the Moss-esque grab over his defender and then lunging into the end zone for the score.
Our third play is at the Class A Girls Golf Championship. After being down by 5 strokes at one point, Zoe Keene bided her time, forced a playoff, and she just needed 2 putts on the second hole to achieve something no other West Fargo Cheyenne girls golfer has ever done, and that is to claim the first individual golf title in school history.
Play 4, West Fargo hosting Horace, and the Packers stayed in this game early because of great defensive plays like this one. Beckett Fowl jumps in front of the receiver for the interception. One more time, Horace is as dynamic as it gets, but Fowl getting the better of them here with the great anticipation and catch for the INT.
But who should win? That is for you to decide at home. We have 4 plays to choose from. Is it Brady Fowler's screen pass interception for Fargo North? Adam Brandon's Moss touchdown grab for Barnesville? Is it Zoe Keene erasing a 5-stroke deficit to win the state golf title for Cheyenne? Or is it Becca Fowles' interception for West Fargo? Vote on our X page at KVR Sports and on KVR Facebook, and we'll reveal the winner on Monday night.
Obviously, Sunday morning, it's Browns. You are a Browns fan against the Vikings. Yes. Prediction for the game. I'll give you the floor.
Okay, prediction of the game. I believe Cleveland will win 31-17.
A 14-point win.
Yeah, well, the last time Cleveland faced Carson Wentz, they dominated in that game.
How many Browns rookies since 1999 have won their first start with the Browns?
0. It is 0-16 in that stat. But if the
Add another one. Vikings win Sunday.
But if the Browns win, you're wearing this on Sunday.
Okay, you'll change your Twitter banner.
Have a great night.